A very good evening to all our viewers and welcome to a brand new edition of Newsfirst Weekend coming to you live from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. I'm Lanka. Let's start off with a look at the stories making headlines this evening. Prime Minister speaks of the powers vested with the President to dissolve Parliament. UNF's Vessel for Justice continues for the second day today. Leaders of the UNF and President hold discussions tomorrow. Serial charges reduced by 10 rupees from midnight tonight. And now for the stories in detail. Vessel for Justice, a motor rally organized by the United National Front with the aim of demanding authorities to protect the rights of the people, got underway for the second day today.
The rally commenced yesterday from the Veherahena Rajamaha Viharaya following religious observances. The Vessel for Justice received a great response from the Tangol town. Subsequently, the rally reached the Tissamaharama town where a meeting was organized. Mahinda Rajapaksa, who was a mere MP, has suddenly become Prime Minister. He won't win such a lottery hereafter. He has no concern about what happens to the country or if the economy collapses. The President told us to show a majority in the Parliament and we did that. We showed the first time. We did it for the second time as well. Then we were asked to show it for the third time and that too was done. What else is he asking us to show? We, the people of the estate sector, have many problems. Amidst these problems, we continue our work here and there. We go to the tree estate, then rubber estate, but somehow we manage all. We are with the elephant. We have never betrayed the UNP. When Sajith Premadasa becomes the president of this country, all the votes of the estate people will be for the United National Party. We know at this moment that a fake Prime Minister has been appointed from this district itself. But before long, we will be able to bring in a proper Prime Minister from this very district. These series of meetings will end next week at Maithripala Sirisena's residence. Remember that, dear brothers. Let's get ready for the fight and let's march forward. We won't come to the beach if we were afraid of the waves. Sajith Premadasa has lots of patience. I, of course, have a witty mouth. I told them that he should be made Prime Minister very soon. I have been scolded for my impatience. But the change the people of this country is asking for will be granted very soon. The rally, which commenced its journey from Tissamaharama, reached Kathragama this afternoon. Thereafter, the group visited the Kathragama Devalaya to make a plea.
Several protests were staged by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna today. These were organized with the aim of demanding an early election and protesting against the Speaker.
This is the protest that was staged in front of the Mahaoya Ampara bus stand. The protesters marched from the Mahaoya Pradeshiya Sabha to the Mahaoya bus stand along the main road. Parliamentarian Vimalavira Disanayaka also participated in this protest. We are in a situation where we are in a death trap. We don't have anything to drink or eat. Mahinda made the weather for us. He gave us electricity when we were transporting water in small containers. We will definitely vote for Mahinda. Another protest organized by the SLPP was staged at Hingurakuda town today. The protesters demanded that the general elections be held soon. Signatures were also collected for a petition. Meanwhile, another protest was staged at Madampe today. Our correspondent stated that a program was organized to collect signatures demanding an early election.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa made a special statement today.
Most countries with a parliamentary form of government have ceremonial heads of state. Even in such countries, the head of state can exercise his discretion in dissolving parliament. However, the Sri Lankan head of state is an executive president directly elected by the people. It has been clearly stated in the Supreme Court determination on the 19th Amendment that the power that the sovereign people have vested in the President cannot be removed without a two-thirds majority in Parliament and a referendum. Even though it is claimed that the President's power to dissolve Parliament that had been provided for in the old Article number 70 subsection 1 have been removed, what has actually happened is that those provisions have been taken to another part of the Constitution. While amending the old Article number 70 subsection 1, the 19th Amendment also introduced a new subsection 2C to Article 33 of the Constitution. What this new provision says is that in addition to the powers expressly assigned by the President by the Constitution or other written law, the President shall have the power to summon, prorogue and dissolve Parliament. The 19th Amendment shifted other provisions of the Constitution from one place to another in a similar manner. Only the drafters of the 19th Amendment will know why that was done. After the 19th Amendment, parliamentary conventions have been preserved in our Constitution through Article number 33 subsection 2C. If we ignore that article and accept only Article number 70 subsection 1 as amended by the 19th Amendment, then we will be faced with a situation where there is absolutely no provision in the Constitution to dissolve Parliament in the event of the government is defeated at a vote on the budget, the statement of government policy, or a motion of no confidence is passed against a government. If even the ceremonial heads of state in countries with parliamentary forms of government can dissolve Parliament and call for fresh elections at their discretion with the circumstances so require, how logical is it to say that President of Sri Lanka, who is vested with the executive power of the state on behalf of the sovereign people, cannot dissolve Parliament no matter what happens in the country? Since the dissolution of Parliament and the holding of fresh elections will have implications for the person ordering such actions as well, no head of state will take such a decision lightly. Such a decision will be made only in serious situations. The only way to restore stability to a destabilized democracy will be through the general election. According to our Constitution, sovereignty is vested in the people and not in the Parliament. The manner in which the people exercise their sovereignty is through the franchise. I invite all those who respect democracy to give careful thought to these matters. May the blessings of the Triple Gem be upon you. God bless you, and my best wishes for the future.
ජාත්‍යන්තරවාදය ගරු කරන ඔබ මේ ගැන සිතා බලන්න. ඔබ සැමට තෙරුවන් සරණයි. JVPටයි.
A meeting between the President and the party leaders of the United National Front was to be held this evening. The meeting was supposed to be held at the Presidential Secretariat. However, the meeting was postponed until 8 p.m. tomorrow. Moving on, the Balamandala meeting of the United National Party Wattal electorate was held last evening.
The meeting was held under the auspices of UNP Deputy Leader Sajid Premadasa.
The school uniform materials or the vouchers have not been given to the school students yet. It was my father, Ranasinghe Premadasa, who distributed school uniforms to the students. If I get the same opportunity like my father did, I promise you that I will provide not just one set of uniforms, but 2 sets of uniforms and a pair of shoes to more than 4.3 million students in the country. I don't know when I will get that opportunity, but I will do it on the day I get it.
The United National Party Balamandala meeting of the Kaspav electorate was held in Piliyandala yesterday.
We remind the state sector employees with this proposal that has been approved in Parliament, you will be held accountable even if you spent a penny. We will have a government soon, by the 5th or the 6th with Ranil Wickremesinghe. We will take action against these crimes by then. We will create a new constitution with the power that we obtain. This executive presidency should be abolished. I would like to reiterate. We have defeated them for 6 times. We will table another one on the 5th. This will be the last. We will not talk thereafter. If President Sirisena has the brains, this can be solved easily. If that is not the case, we are ready to emerge victorious, my friends. The day the parliament was dissolved, he spoke to me. I said, "You have gone against Ranil Wickremesinghe and myself. If you have a problem with Ranil, come for a fight. You will beat each other up and we will watch. The whole country is ruined based on a personal dispute. He is ready to hand over the government to us. He is fed up with that arrangement. He is now saying that he cannot do this with Ranil. Sirisena thinks he is JR or Premadasa. He thinks he is Chandrika. No, he is Sirisena. His hands have been cut. His legs have been cut. He is asking the body whether he can do the work of the hand. No, you cannot. We will show you how we will win." If the Pohotwe is strong, if they have the power, we ask that the presidential election be held. We are ready with our presidential candidate. We tell Mahinda and Maitri that the front is also ready. On the same day of the presidential election, call for a general election. We will create a new front with a young force.
A conference under the theme "What's Going to Be at the End of the Rainbow Conspiracy" was held in Maharakama today.
The war heroes in any other country have not been put behind bars after reopening the cases following a war. The intelligence of the army were not dysfunctioned. The national security was not neglected. Those who removed military camps and made the north unsafe are now saying that 2 police officers were shot and that things like that didn't happen during their times.
Article 152 of the Constitution says that a proposal related to finances can only be presented from the government. Only a cabinet minister can present a proposal about state funds to parliament. A proposal which will only get approved if presented by a cabinet minister will not be valid when Ravi Karunanayake presents it. So we are of the stance that this clan cannot cut finances of any ministry. We will also bring the rupee back to 161 against the US dollar, so Mahinda Rajapaksa will bring forward the budget.
If the parliament dissolves, we will get a new parliament. And if it doesn't, we get to form our government in the old parliament. We will show majority, and that will not be in the general sense. We will be specific in showing our majority. We are ready to do that. When it is decided that the parliament will not be dissolved, the majority will eventually be formed. There will be a number of MPs who will approach us when a government is being established. So we will not have to worry about a majority.
Money was allocated to ministries based on the Appropriation Bill number 30 of 2017. The proposals approved by a bill cannot be amended, and for that an amendment should be brought forward. Ours is a minority government. The history of our country had a lot of minority governments. Madam Chandrika Bandaranaike's government in 2000 consisted of only 107 MPs. Ranil Wickremesinghe's government in 2001 consisted of only 109 MPs. The government established in 2004 by the Alliance, JVP and the Podujana Perumuna had only 105 MPs. Mahinda Rajapaksa's government in 2005 had only 105, and out of that 39 were JVP MPs who went and sat at the opposition. The ruling party was only left with 69 MPs. When Ranil Wickremesinghe became the Prime Minister, he only had 46 MPs. So in that case, our government is a massive minority government.
The parliament has been tarnished. The United National Front only had 105. The Alliance had 95. And 21 is now remaining out of the 95. This is the coalition that left the government on the 26th. So when the 21 leaves, they were left with 105. So where is the 113? Even if they join with the JVP, it will only come up to 111. They will then have to get together with the 14 or 16 TNA MPs. But they said that they will not join to establish a government, so they can't talk about a 113.
ආණ්ඩු හදන්න පාර්ශවකරු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් එහෙමනම් බහුතරය කියන්නේ 113 කතාවක් නැහැ.
Venerable Dambaramila responded to the allegations made against him today.
You might have seen them slinging mud at us. Dambaramila is not someone who will fall down to such low standards. If I did, I wouldn't be talking like this here. We are not hiding. Now that you have established a government, why don't you get the CID to arrest me, question me and find out if I have stolen money from this country? Do it if you can, Dolavatta. You are a lawyer and also an actor. So if you can, file a case against Amila Thera and produce me before courts. Find out if I have stolen or engaged in fraudulent activities. If not, I ask you if you are ready to leave your position as a lawyer.
The JVP convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
We, the JVP, made a decision that we would not go for a discussion with the President with regard to this conspiracy. We will not attend any discussion in Parliament on changing of governments. Therefore, the President must accept the majority decision of the Parliament. Now both of them have no right to appear as Prime Minister. Therefore, both of them should give it up and we must appoint a different person as Prime Minister. That responsibility falls on the President and he must abide by the majority of the Parliament. We know that it is difficult for a government that is formed based on the majority in Parliament. Therefore, we have no objection in going for a general election, but only after the country is made stable.
Taking a look at another one of our headline-making stories, three-wheeler fares have been reduced by 10 rupees from midnight tonight. Therefore, a fare of a three-wheeler for the first kilometre will be 50 rupees.
Chairman of the National Three-Wheel Drivers Association, Sunil Jayawardena, said the price charged for the first kilometre will be reduced from 60 rupees to 50 rupees. He added the association's objective was to extend the benefit gained through the slashing of fuel prices to the consumers. As a result of the fuel price formula introduced by the previous government, fuel prices were increased several times over the last few months. However, the Three-Wheel Drivers Associations state they have decided to reduce prices in order to provide a relief to the consumers. Three-wheel drivers expressed the following views on this decision.
It
has only reduced by 5 rupees, but most people think we can run for 40 rupees. Even this morning, a passenger gave me 40 rupees. We have to live as well.
The cost of a hire has not reduced. It is the same price. We have not been informed of a reduction.
The 5 fishermen on board the multi-day fishing trawler which met with an accident after leaving the Kudavella fisheries harbour in Mathura were rescued this afternoon. The rescued fishermen are now being brought back to the island.
The fishermen of the trawler named Kavinduputa, which left the shores on the 18th of November, were rescued in this manner. The vessel met with an accident at around 1 last morning while sailing around 250 nautical miles off the Kudavella fisheries harbour. It has been revealed that a ship has collided with the vessel.
We screamed. Parts of our boat were floating. Our catch was washed away. We had nothing to do. We thought that the boat would sink that minute. It slowly started going under. We were hanging on the outer border. The ship sailed on and didn't even slow down to check on us.
These 5 fishermen who were struggling for their lives in the deep seas were saved by another fishing trawler that set off to sea from Dikwalla.
ඒ මල්ලාට ස්තුති කරන්න ඕනේ අපි වෙනුවෙන් සෑහෙන වෙලාවක් කැපවීමලා වතුරේ පැනලා අපි බේරගත්තා ඒ සිරිස මාධ්‍ය ජාලයටත් ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා මේ වෙනුවෙන් කාලය කරලා ආවට.
The funerals of the 2 police officers who were killed in Vaunathiu were held this afternoon in Udagama in Gaul and Periyanilaveni in Kalmune.
Police constables 35-year-old Niroshan Indika and 28-year-old Ganesh Dinesh were killed while on duty at a roadblock in the Vaunathiu area. Their bodies were recovered on the 29th of last month. The constables were posthumously promoted to the post of sergeants. Police Sergeant Niroshan Indika, a resident of Udugama Gaul, was a father of 1. President Maithripala Sirisena arrived at his residence this afternoon to pay his last respects to the remains of Sergeant Niroshan Indika. His remains were laid to rest at the family burial grounds in Udugama. The funeral of Ganesh Dinesh, who was also killed in Vaunathiu, was held this afternoon at the Periyanilavane cemetery. According to our correspondent, a message of condolence sent by President Maithripala Sirisena was read at the funeral. Governor of the Eastern Province, Rohitha Bogollagama, and SSP of the Eastern Province, Kapila Jayasekara, arrived at the funeral to pay their last respects.
The Ceylon Today newspaper today reported that the grip around IGP Pooja Sandara, who is alleged in trouble for allegedly attempting to cover up a high-profile assassination plot, is tightening, with President Maithripala Sirisena mulling to lodge an official complaint with the National Police Commission.
The paper notes President Sirisena, in an interview with Ceylon Today, acknowledged that he was extremely concerned about two letters in connection with the controversial transfer of IP Nishantha Silva being leaked to various parties, including mainstream and traditional media. The article reads, the first such letter to be made public was the one sent by IGP Jayasundara to the Secretary to the Ministry of Defence, Hemasiri Fernando, stating that the transfer was made on the orders of President Maithripala Sirisena. The second was another confidential letter sent to the IGP by CID Chief, Senior DIG Ravi Senviratna, clearing IP Nishantha Silva of allegations that was connected to the LTTE. The Ceylon Today says it was later revealed that President Sirisena and his allies suspected foul play on the part of the IGP to put the president in an embarrassing situation. The paper goes on to note that when asked whether these reports were true and whether he was planning on any action against the IGP regarding the issue, President Sirisena affirmed, stating action will be taken against Jayasundara. The article reads, elaborating further on the action he was intending to take, President Sirisena said, and I quote, I have already given directives to lodge an official complaint with the National Police Commission in this regard, unquote.
Sports First, Allianz Platinum Awards 2018.
Lanka, the most famous sports awards ceremony in Sri Lanka is the Platinum Awards ceremony. We all should try to win this. That will be our pride.
Sports First, Allianz Platinum Awards 2018.
And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Weekend Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.